Hello Hodgel. So today we're going to be calculating the missing lengths or sides of a 3D shape such as cubes and cuboids when we are given a volume. Some of the keywords you may have seen in the previous lessons are surface area, volume, cuboids and cubes. So let's just recap the most important one which we'll be dealing with today, which is volume. What is volume? Volume is an amount of substance that can fill a 3D shape. How much of that substance will fill the 3D shape? So some of you may be wondering where we'd use this. So an example of usage would be in construction to calculate the width of a building given a volume when using concrete. Also when painting a room given a volume of paint you have, to calculate the height of the wall. How tall is the wall when you have a given amount of volume of paint? Okay, so for example 1, I'm going to show you how to calculate the missing side of this cuboid given a volume of 84 centimeters cubed. So first things first, we need to recap what is our formula for volume. Our formula for volume is equals to length times width times height. So let's just look on the left hand side and let's try and dissect and try and choose what our length, width and height are. So let's go with our width. Our width is how wide the object is, which is here. That is 6 centimeters. Our height of the object, given here, is how tall the object is. That is 2 centimeters. And our length over here is unknown. It's how long the object is. We're trying to calculate how long the object is. We've also been given a volume of 84 centimeters cubed. So let's take all these values that we know and substitute it into our formula. So the volume is 84. So I'm just substituting it into this bit here. Volume is 84, which we know from the question. And the length we don't know, so we're going to leave that as L. We don't know the length. Times by width. How wide is our object? Our object is 6 centimeters wide. So we're going to times it by 6. And how tall our object is, which is 2 centimeters, times it by 2. Okay, so we can use this formula and we can calculate the missing side called L, the length. So if we multiply this out, it's 84 is equals to length times 12. So let's translate this. It says length times 12 gives us 84. So something times 12 gives us 84. So all I'm simply going to do is divide both sides by 12. Divide both sides by 12. So 84 divided by 12 equals to length. So our length is 84 divided by 12. So our length is 7 centimeters. Don't forget, when we're calculating a length, it's one dimensional. So our length over here, our length here is 7 centimeters. So what we have essentially done is used our volume formula to calculate the missing length. Okay, after I finish talking, I would like you to pause the video and have a go at calculating the missing length of this cuboid. In this case, it would be this question mark here. You need to find the height. Once you have finished, resume the video and I'll quickly go through it. Okay, so let's start our working out off by stating what our volume formula is. Our volume formula is length times width times height. So let's identify our length, width and our height. So our length is 8 centimeters. Our width is 20 centimeters. And our height is unknown. Our height is unknown. We're trying to calculate this height. We've been given a volume of 1,200 centimeters cubed. Remember, volume is cubed. It's in 3 dimensions. So I'm just going to simply substitute it into our formula just over here on the top right hand side. We're going to substitute it into this formula here. So we have volume, which is 1,200, is equals to the length, which we know is 8, times by the width, which we know to be 20, times it by the height. We do not know the height. We're trying to calculate the height. So if we multiply our terms, we get 1200 is equals to 160 times height. Now using some algebra, we have to do the inverse, yeah? So we're going to just divide both sides by 160. So we're going to do the inverse of times. I'm going to divide both sides by 160. And we have 1200 divided by 160, and that will give us our height. So if I put that into a calculator, 1200 divided by 160, and that will give us a height of 7.5 centimeters. 7.5 centimeters. Don't forget the lengths are measured in centimeters, not centimeters squared, not centimeters cubed. It's one dimensional, yeah, just one direction, like this 20 over here, and such as the 8 as well. Okay, so for this example, it's the same process. However, I'm just going to quickly go through it because we have some decimals involved. So let's recall our volume formula. Volume is equals to length times width times height. We know our volume, we know our length, we know our height, but we do not know our width. So I'm just going to substitute the known ones into this formula here. So 3,500, because the volume is 3,500, is equals to length, which is 40, times by the width, which we do not know, times by the height, which is 3.5. Just 3.5. Okay, we need to multiply these terms out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the 40 by the 3.5, because we can rearrange it any way we like when we are multiplying. So 40 times 3.5, and that will give us 140. So 3,500 equals to width times 140. So now we're multiplying them 140 times width, so we need to do the inverse. We need to divide by 140 on both sides. So we have 3,500 divided by 140, and that will give us our width. So 3,500 divided by 140, and our width is 25 millimeters. Yeah, always look at the question and decide what are you measuring your units in. In this case, it's millimeters. Okay, so I would now like you to have a go using the volume formula to calculate the missing side of this cuboid. We have a volume of 45 centimeters cubed written at the bottom. This 45 centimeters cubed. We have a width of 4. We have a length of 2.5. I would like you to find the missing height over here. Once you're finished, resume the video and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, you should have had a go at that now, so I'm going to simply just quickly go through how to work it out. Volume equals to length times width times height. The volume we know to be 45, so I'm going to replace or substitute that V to be 45, equals to the length is 2.5, how long the object is, times by the width, which is 4 centimeters, times by height. We don't know the height. So let's multiply all our terms and we get 45 is equals to 10 times h. 10 times h. Just going to rub that out. Give me a second. 10 times h. Okay, we're going to do the inverse of multiplication, so I'm going to divide both sides by 10. Divide the left hand side and the right hand side by 10. So 45 divided by 10 is equals to our h. So the height is 45 divided by 10, which gives us 4.5 centimeters. 4.5 centimeters. Okay, so now we have come on to the main task. What I would like you to do is to start from the red question, the red section, and move your way onto amber and then onto green. You are supposed to be using the volume formula. Volume equals length times width times height to calculate the unknown missing sides. Remember, all you have to do is substitute the values in and follow the process as I've shown you before. If you have any difficulties regarding any of these questions, please make sure you message a member of staff on class charts, and good luck.